Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Ray. So I want to try and help you understand the connection between consciousness and healing stress, how this is going to help you heal stress for good, but also access what you have lost in the disconnect created by stress. And I'm going to use the example of an iceberg. So I want you to start by imagining that you are an iceberg. If you want, you can close your eyes. So if you imagine the iceberg, you've got the tip of the iceberg, and that's your head. And if you can imagine the iceberg floating in the ocean, we all know that the main bulk of the iceberg is underneath the water, underneath the surface. And that's represented by the rest of your body. Now, if the iceberg could only see the tip of itself, it would only see so much. Yeah, and that's us when we're disconnected by stress. We tend to be very much in our heads and have a very limited perspective of the world, but also of our own experience of who we are. We've lost connection or become disconnected from the rest of our experience through the body. And all of that is below the surface, okay? And once we reconnect, consciously connect, we're starting to access everything that is below the surface. And so as we do that, we're consciously connecting to the whole, okay? So we're not just limited to a rational or a logical or a disconnected, autopilot, distracted, worry-based experience of life, which is pretty much living in the head through our thoughts alone. And we're starting to consciously connect with everything that's below the surface. And there's so much happening below the surface, as we know in that iceberg analogy. And as we start to consciously reconnect, to consciously connect to the body, and what we're feeling in the body, we're accessing so much more of our experience. We're starting to access all the information contained in what we feel and in our intuition. In terms of healing stress, we're also accessing everything that's been stored, held onto by the body. And what stress tends to do is that it disconnects us from feeling, from being present, from accessing everything that is below the surface, and we tend to be operating from a very limited perspective. And so that conscious connection is really giving us access to our conscious experience, our full experience. Okay, we're connecting mind and body, and we're accessing so much information, and we're accessing what we need in order to heal stress, in reconnecting, in that conscious connection. But not only that, if we come back to the iceberg, again, the tip of the iceberg, and then everything that is below the surface, we're starting to understand that there is no separation between us, or that iceberg, and the rest of the ocean. It's just a different density, a different frequency. And as we reconnect consciously, we're starting to access that. Not just what's within our own experience in the body, in that reconnection between mind and body. We're starting to access everything. We're starting to access the whole ocean and to understand that there is no separation between our own experience and the rest of consciousness. It is all one. Okay, and it's bringing us back to that experience, and we're living from that place, living from consciousness. We're starting to live with consciousness, and in that way we're also accessing everything we need to heal from stress and to reconnect where stress has disconnected us. So I don't know how much of that resonates. Maybe it speaks to you on some level. And again, we're starting to touch something. It's a remembering of who each of us is. And we're all a unique expression of that iceberg, but we're all connected by the same consciousness, that ocean of consciousness. And again, there is no separation. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And this is something that I explore, the healing of the stress that disconnects. And it's in the very healing through that conscious reconnection that we start to access all of this. Okay? So if you want to find out more about that, all the information is in the description box. It's in the 6-week Alchemy of Stress. As always, thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next post.